astronomical amount of money.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man fixed the car.
We'll be live in just a couple minutes.
Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
Welcome, everyone.
An unbiased comparison of all your Medicare health insurance.
Something real quick.
If you
I'll be right back.
Diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided, when you have diabetes, those of you who are at-risk patients, I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. The Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetes.
Here we go, guys. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And remember, we're going to be here live Thanksgiving morning and Black Friday morning.
High-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are
I did see the picture of Kyle and Trump. I'm going to get to all that today.
With the extra width and extra depth to stop
Has everyone liked the video?
Before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Here we go. I had to go next door and do something, hit a button. So I had to play an extra commercial.
To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE 1. That's 1-888-COCAINE 1. And now.
Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Welcome. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1971. And, of course, we will be live on Thanksgiving tomorrow, live from 6 till 9 a.m., and live on Black Friday from 6 until 9 a.m. for our Steve Kane My Pillow Thanksgiving Black Friday Weekend Magathon, sponsored by My Pillow. Yeah, that's right, Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell's bringing us in for you guys on Thursday and Friday. We were going to run best of, but it is sponsored by My Pillow, our Thanksgiving and Black Friday weekend magathon. Make sure you were here. All right, we've got a lot to talk about on the show today. I'm going to start. There's a couple of updates with Kyle Rittenhouse that I think are very, very important, because what the media are doing is disgusting. They're disgusting people. And Ashley Banfield, who used to be at MSNBC long ago, and then she's been all over the place, Ashley Banfield. She used to be on Court TV, now she's somewhere else, and she interviewed Kyle Rittenhouse, and I was really, truly hoping that Kyle would take a break from the interview circuit after the spectacular interview that he did with Tucker Carlson. It doesn't get better than that, and it would be wise for Kyle Rittenhouse, a little too late now with the Banfield interview, but he could have allowed that Tucker Carlson interview to be the narrative about him, because it said everything, and it was brilliant, and it was perfect interview. And it can't get better than that. It can only go downhill. So it's already starting, and I want to play this clip. Now, the prosecution made a big deal about this, and Ashley Banfield brought it up to Kyle Rittenhouse that he was at a bar taking a photograph with one of the Proud Boys. So let me play the exchange. I'm going to play it in its entirety, and then I'm going to talk about it, because this is a very important piece to the puzzle and a narrative that we're going to expose. So here's Ashley Banfield interviewing Kyle Rittenhouse. He says he was set up by taking a photograph with the Proud Boys.
You have stated that you are not a racist, but yet there's video footage of you using hand signs that are used by groups that are considered by many to be white supremacists.
Okay, this is the okay sign. And I'm going to tell you this about that. Since when did the okay sign become racist? One of the funniest men to ever make movies, Eddie Murphy, that was his signature. Go and watch Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop 1. And I believe this is in other movies with Eddie Murphy. But Axel Foley, the end of the movie is Eddie Murphy giving the okay sign. And for those that don't know, Eddie Murphy is black. But now it is a sign of white supremacy? I don't understand where that came from. But anyway, let's get back to this.
You have stated that you are not a racist, but yet there's video footage of you using hand signs that are used by groups that are considered by many to be white supremacists. Why have you associated with members of groups like the Proud Boys? Why have you used hand signs that are commonly associated with white supremacy?
That's a good question. I didn't know that the OK hand sign was a symbol for white supremacy, just as I didn't know that those people in the bar were Proud Boys. They were set up by my former attorney, who was fired because of that, for putting me in situations like that with people I don't agree with, by having them set up for security without telling us their background. And if I would have known that they were Proud Boys, I would have said absolutely not.
Okay, now before I get to the rest of this, okay, the OK sign is not a sign of white supremacy. This is a sign used by people for as long as I can remember, including Eddie Murphy. Someone told me Eddie Murphy used the OK sign in The Golden Child. Well, I must say, that is the one Eddie Murphy movie I think I've not seen, that in the Haunted Mansion. But yeah, that was like the OK sign to Eddie Murphy that they say is now white supremacy. That was his signature in his movies. Like Hitchcock was in every movie, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. His was the OK sign. Now, this thing about the Proud Boys, well, let me just finish up on this, and then I'll start talking about it.
To be clear, which attorney put you in that bar?
John Pierce.
He took you to that bar?
He arranged it. He wasn't there, but he set it up and arranged it.
Your attorney arranged for a then 17-year-old to go to a bar to meet those people.
Okay, now go to a bar. Ashley Banfield is Canadian. She's been in America for a long time, but she's Canadian. I don't know what goes on with kids growing up in Canada, but some of my fondest memories as a child with my grandfathers, with my dad, even I remember once coming to Florida, I had an uncle taking me to a bar as a kid and letting me have a beer. Did any of you ever go when you were a kid to a bar with your dad or your granddad or an uncle and have a beer or a sip of a beer? This is a common thing. I guess they don't do this in Canada, where Ashley Banfield is from, but that's a big thing here. Okay, I don't know. I went to a bar. Give me a break. When I was a little kid, I was like growing up in bars. I know it doesn't sound good when you say it that way, but I think that's the way it is with a lot of guys. Anyway, let's get back to Ashley Banfield's. This boogeyman. They got this boogeyman, which is what the mainstream media always like to have when it comes to conservatives, and it's the Proud Boys. I don't know anything about the Proud Boys. I have seen them around, but I don't know. The only thing I know about the Proud Boys are what these mainstream lowlives in the media tell us about the Proud Boys. I don't know if they're bad guys or good guys. I just know that they're defining MAGA and conservatives by the Proud Boys. They say they're racist because they use this Eddie Murphy hand gesture for the OK sign, which I'm even afraid to do right now, because if I do it and someone takes a picture of it, all of a sudden I'm a white supremacist with a black child. But here, here's the thing. I know it's stupid about the Proud Boys. The liberals, the media, always have a boogeyman to soil the reputation of conservatives. And I'll give you an example that is not extreme. Remember Reverend Fred Phelps, the homophobic reverend? Used to be on, we had him on the Steve Kane Show a few times. First time I saw him was on Ricky Lake, But he's dead now. But there was what Fred Phelps did. He was connecting people to the Proud Boys and saying all these things about the Proud Boys. They're racist. I don't know anything about the Proud Boys. I don't know if they're racist or not. I'm not defending them or not. Although I will tell you this. Two things I do know about the Proud Boys is their leader is an FBI informant. Remember? A couple days before the Capitol breach, he was picked up on some weapons charge, so he wasn't at the Capitol breach, and we found out he'd been a long-time FBI informant. And I remember it was either President's Day at Mar-a-Lago or Inauguration Day at Mar-a-Lago, on Biden's Inauguration Day, when President Trump came home. I can't remember what day. And I'm standing there on the road waiting for President Trump to come by. And behind me were some of the Proud Boys. And I had never seen the Proud Boys up close before. And this guy, he was about my age, and a little younger than me. He was middle-aged. He was like in his 40s, no older than 50. And there's two things I noticed about this guy. In fact, I called my wife, and I even called Steve about this. He was about between 40 and 50. He was wearing a Proud Boys leather vest. That was an expensive leather vest, I'm here to tell you. It was like embroidered, Proud Boys on it. This vest he was wearing looked to me like it cost a couple $1,000s, just the vest. And it was something like you would see, you know those stockbroker Harley Davidson riders, right? There was a big, and I saw him with some of the other Proud Boys. This was up by Mar-a-Lago. Again, I can't remember if it was President's Day or Inauguration Day, but I did talk about this on the air the next day, so some of you may remember which day it was. And what I noticed about the Proud Boys that I saw there was this. They were middle-age-ish. They were wearing these leather vests that looked like they cost a couple $1,000s each. And do you know what not one of the Proud Boys had? This will sound ridiculous to you, but not one of them had a beer belly. They were all in shape. They were big guys. They were all fit. There wasn't one beer belly on them. And they had very short haircuts. And I called my wife, and I called Steve, and I talked about it the next day. I said, I think these guys are undercover federal agents. And I remember the one guy in particular was, we're waiting for President Trump to come by in the Beast. And the one guy, there was like a light pole, and the one guy was leaning up against the light pole for quite a while, kind of behind where I was. And I was really watching him. I was watching, Right Side Broadcasting was there, and I was watching them. And now, what are the odds that you have a group of guys that are all middle-aged with very expensive vests, which like I use like the stockbroker Harley Davidson crowd. You know, these guys, they're attorneys and accountants and stockbrokers. They got expensive Harleys, and they have these fake Sons of Anarchy-like clothes, but they're all fat. They all got beer bellies, right? Those motorcycle guys. Not one beer belly on one of these middle-aged Proud Boys would set off sirens to me. Does that sound like undercover agents to you? I don't know, but I find it a little strange. So they've got this boogeyman of the Proud Boys, and because he took a picture, he's one of them. Let me tell you, this is what they did to the greatest president this country's ever had, Donald Trump. Right? They had that picture of Donald Trump with Stormy Daniels at some celebrity event, and oh, look, well, here's a picture of him with Stormy Daniels. That means he slept with her. Are you kidding me? People that are celebrities, President Trump, Kyle Rittenhouse, take pictures with people all the time. They don't do background checks. I take pictures with listeners. Sometimes I'll meet a listener. I'm at Publix. I'm at the mall, and a listener will come up to me, and they'll want to take a selfie. I don't do a background check on them. I don't browse their social media. I don't call someone up to run a criminal background check before I take a picture. I don't know who they are. They tell me they're a listener, and their name's this, and their name's that. Oh, great, let's take a selfie. Now all of a sudden I'm responsible for that? That's insanity. I've met a lot of celebrities over the years, many of them liberal. I'll give you an example. The great William Shatner, a huge fan of William Shatner, of course, as a Trekker. I've taken photographs with William Shatner and have even socialized a little bit with William Shatner in private. Does that mean William Shatner's MAGA? I don't think so. I don't think so. So first off, I think the Proud Boys and these other organizations are fake organizations. I'm going to put that out there right now. Not that everybody in them is, but I think a lot of them are. I mean, look at that incident with Whitmer. How many people in that Whitmer case were either federal agents or federal informants? Same thing with the Proud Boys, okay? And even if they were real, which I don't believe they are, it's a small group. But they're acting like there's some huge army. And you know, when there's an event, you can't stop who comes to these events. Shame on Ashley Banfield. Now, I'm not saying they're all, you know, there's real guys in them, but the ones I saw, I find it very strange that you have a group of middle-aged men wearing very expensive clothes and there's not one beer belly. Come on. And they're all physically fit and they all have those short haircuts. Come on. Come on. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. That's right, on the radio since 1977. This is also the MAGA show of record on the planet. You will never hear me disagree with President Trump. Never will I ever disagree with President Trump. And I say that with pride. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take our first break of the day, come back with some calls, and we got a lot more to talk about too. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back after this break.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at
Steve Kane Show.
Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear
Hold on.
and Firestone at discount
Steve
prices.
Kane Show.
Absolutely can't be beaten.
Consequences up to and
I might have to restart my feed, but let me give it a minute
recognizes the importance of
before I restart.
care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably
All right, let me
aware
try this.
with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable, and one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve